in the outcome. At halftime, I felt we were in a good spot in striking distance, 8-point game, and then just didn't execute well enough in the second half. That pretty much sums it up. I'll open it to questions now.
Trent, how confident are you in this team to bounce back from a game like this?
I'm very confident. Again, they're a good group. We've seen them respond well to adversity. We got to fix what we see tomorrow when we watch the film, and then get better. So I feel good about this group and their character and their ability to bounce back from this.
That was not a defensive performance that I expected to see today. What did Oregon do that surprised you guys, or that you couldn't overcome?
That's hard to say in the moment right now. We weren't tight enough in coverage. I know that was an issue. And they got good players, and they executed well, and they out-executed us. So we gotta solve that and then fix it.
Trent, typically speaking, as far as a home game goes, the last couple of years, very atypical performance for Oregon State at home. Do you think that they're, lack of energy or anything like that? Did something just not quite seem on today?
No, I think it just came down to when plays were supposed to be made, Oregon did a nice job of making them, and we didn't. I think that's about it. The energy, their focus, their commitment to it, I didn't question that at all.
What element of your game plan and when did it deviate from what you were hoping to execute?
We never deviated from the game plan. Obviously late in the game you got to start throwing because you're down 3 or 4 scores, but that's probably it.
Trent, the first drive you had 3 penalties, 2 false starts, which you haven't had all season. Did you feel like that kind of just got the game off to a rough start?
I mean, it stalled out that drive. We had a new center in there, which we had to shuffle around a lot of the offensive line as well, so it were a little slow to get started.
You mentioned different center, different right guards. How do you think the offensive line kind of fared overall today compared to what you guys were expecting?
I thought early in the game they did a nice job. I thought we were having some success on the ground. They were protecting pretty well, and then we just kind of ran out of gas there at the end. So,
like you mentioned earlier, obviously you guys had to go to the passing attack, maybe even a little earlier than you would have wanted to. But how did you feel like Giovanni played today?
I thought he was efficient when he threw the ball. There were some nice throws, some nice catches. I'll have to look at it on film to be totally sure of exactly what happened, but overall I thought he did a nice job. He didn't turn the ball over, which is a big thing.
On the same note, really good game out of Trent Walker. Just kind of what's his development been like, especially with Darius not being good to go yet. Just kind of how's he been kind of a security blanket for Giovanni?
Trent's been great. He's a guy obviously self-made from where he started to where he's at now, and he just works extremely hard. He's reliable. He's going to run the right route. There's a lot of trust there.
Looked like when you guys were on defense, they were really picking on your young linebackers. Just kind of where do you go from here after all that?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great teaching. Like you said, young, right? So they're gonna learn as they go, and there's going to be growing pains a little bit somewhere today. So, hopefully, right, as we dive into the film, these guys use it as an opportunity to get better.
In some sorts, did this feel like a bit of a litmus test for you guys, just to see kind of really where you guys are at this point in the season?
I never looked at it that way.
Trent, you play in Eugene, this team next year. What are your thoughts about the future of the series? Would you like to continue to play them?
I haven't even thought about that, to be honest with you. That's a ways down the road that I'm not concerned with right now.
Coach, looking at the defense, do you think that this performance speaks to bigger issues, or is it more of like a one game?
I think it's just a game. I think you're not always gonna shut everybody out, right? There's gonna be games where you play well and games where you're off, and today was one where we were off.
Did they do anything offensively that caught you off guard, or was it about what you were expecting?
I think you gotta, when you're playing a group as skilled as they are, you gotta be your best, and we just weren't there.
Trey, you said early at the outset of your program that you wanted to be explosive. Why haven't we seen a lot of explosiveness yet? Are they just not ready for that, or it's just?
That's a good question. I'd have to dive deeper into that to answer that one.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.